Hey guys, alright. Today we're going to do Unit 1, Lesson 2. I already have my notes open here. If you need a video on how to copy and paste your notes and link them into your journal, I've posted one onto my homepage. So in Canvas, if you go to Home, you can click on the image of the journal that's posted there, and it will take you to that video. So if you need help with that, go watch that video. So let's go ahead and get started. Unit 1, Lesson 2, we are going to solve linear equations and inequalities. So equations, what makes something an equation? It means that it has an equal sign, right? So let me pick a different color here. This is an equation because it has an equal sign. And we'll talk about inequalities in just a minute. So let's see what we can do here. We have some steps written out here. So our steps say if you see parentheses, then you need to distribute. Then we're going to combine like terms on both sides of the equation. Then you want to get your variables together, and then you want to solve. So let's work through this problem. The first thing we want to do is look at each side of the equation, okay? So first, I'm going to kind of pretend that I'm gonna mark over this, but I'm gonna kind of pretend like the rest of this isn't here, and I'm just gonna focus on this side of the equation, okay? So I'm looking first for my step 1 says look for parentheses. Let me erase this out of the way. Look for parentheses. So I do see parentheses. Parentheses means I need to distribute, so we should be pretty comfortable with distribution at this point. And I'm not doing anything with the 8n, so I'm going to go ahead and move that down. And I'm going to multiply through. So 4 times 1 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20n. And then I still have all of the things on the other side of my equal sign. I'm going to go ahead and bring those down so I don't lose them. And I don't forget about them, okay? Now I'm going through and I'm going to combine my like terms. So what like terms do I have here? I have this in and I have this in. I'm just looking at this side of the equal sign first, the left-hand side of the equal sign. Okay, so let's go ahead and combine those two things. Negative 8n plus 20n is going to give me 12n. And then I still have, I don't know if I got the right color, plus 4 equals negative 6n minus 14. Now I want to get my variables together. So now I'm looking at both sides of the equation. I want to move all my variables to one side. Remember, when we move from one side of the equation to the other, we have to use the inverse operation. So an inverse operation. So the inverse operation of addition is subtraction. The inverse multiplication of the inverse operation of multiplication is division. Okay? So to undo, so inverse operations undo each other. Undo each other. Y'all kind of bear with me on these notes tonight. I'm a little tired. Okay, so inverse operations undo each other. So subtraction undoes addition, addition undoes subtraction. Multiplication undoes division, division undoes multiplication. Okay, so when we're moving across an equal sign, we're going to use the inverse operation. I'm going to expect y'all to remember that term, inverse operations, okay? So I like to make things easy, so instead of moving this 12n to the right-hand side of the equation, I kind of want my variables to be on the left-hand side because things are nicer that way. So I'm going to move this negative 6n over. So to undo subtraction or to undo negatives, I'm going to add. So I'm going to add 6n to both sides. So 12 plus 6 is 18n plus 4 equals negative 14. Those cancel each other out. Negative 6n plus 6n is 0. Now I need to solve. So now I want to get n by itself. So I want to get n on the left-hand side of the equation by itself. I'm going to deal with the things that don't have n with it first. So I'm going to use the inverse operation and subtract 4 from both sides. So negative 14 minus 14 is going to be negative 18. And here these cancel out, and I'm left with 18n. So now when I have a number next to a variable, that shows multiplication. And how do I undo multiplication? We divide. So I should divide both sides by 18, and n equals negative 18 divided by 18 is negative 1. And that's our answer. So let's look at this next problem. I'm just gonna erase, let me just write it over here. N equals negative 1, there we go. Okay, so we're gonna start on one side of the equation, the left-hand side. Our first step tells us to look for parentheses. When I see parentheses, I distribute. So I'm gonna distribute this piece through. We have 8x, and then we have negative 4 times 4x. So negative 4 times 4 is going to be negative 16x. Negative 4 times negative 3 is going to be negative times negative is positive. 4 times 3 is 12. I'm going to go ahead and distribute the thing on this side too. 4 times 6 is 24x. 4 times 4 is 16. And then I have this minus 4 at the end. Now let's combine our like terms. So I've got this term here on this side. So 8 minus 16 is going to be negative 8x plus 12. And then I'm going to combine my like terms here. So 24x, and we have plus 12, right? Yeah, plus 12. Okay, so I know up here I said I like my variable to be on the left side. I like things to be nice. But on this problem, you can move the 24 over, but I think I'm going to move this 8 over because then I can make it positive and I'm dealing with positive things instead of negative things. And it's always nicer to deal with positive numbers, right? So I'm going to move the 8 over to the right-hand side. So these will cancel each other out, or negative 8x plus 8x becomes 0, and I have 12 equals 24 plus 8 is going to be 32x plus 12, and I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. And these go away. I have 32x equals 12 minus 12 again is 0. And then what do I want to do here? I still have a number next to a variable. That means multiplication. To undo that, I'm going to divide. So x equals 0 divided by 32 is 0. And this can be rewritten as x equals 0. Okay, so once I get to my final answer, I have x by itself, then I can just flip them around the equal sign. So so we can end up with 0 as an answer. That is not a problem, okay? Okay, so now let's look at inequalities. So inequalities, we're talking about greater than or equal to, less than or equal to. These are inequality symbols. These are inequality symbols. And when we're solving inequalities, we're going to solve them exactly like we just solved linear equations. But we need to remember that if we multiply or divide by a negative number, you have to flip the symbol. Okay, so flip the symbol. Okay, so let's go ahead and work through this. We're going to pretend for most of the problem until we get towards the end, we're going to pretend like there's an equal sign there, and we're going to solve it exactly the same. So our first step, look for parentheses. I see parentheses, so I'm going to go ahead and distribute. We have 8x minus 16x plus 12. And then I'm going to distribute this negative 4 through. So So we have negative 24x minus 16 minus 4. Okay, notice I did not distribute to the negative 4 out here. I only distributed to the things inside of the parentheses, okay? This negative 4, this minus 4 is a whole nother piece. We're not going to distribute to that. Now let's combine our like terms. So we have negative 8x plus 12 is less than negative 24x minus 20. So we have negative 16 minus 4. So now I'm going to go ahead and do plus 24x on both sides. So if I add 24 to a negative 8, that's going to end up giving me a positive answer, right? And positive things are more fun to deal with. Okay, so 24 minus 8 should be about 16, right? I feel like I had a different answer in mind whenever I read this problem, but okay. I think that's right. Okay, so 16. Now I'm going to subtract 12 from both sides. I have 16x is less than negative 20 minus 12 is negative 32. And now I'm going to divide by 16. So I should have x is less than 2. Sorry, 32, negative 30. Wow. Let me just mark over that. So we have x is less than negative 32 divided by 16 is negative 2. So x is less than negative 2. Okay, so let's look at this next problem here. So we solve this exactly the same as we would an equal sign. So let's look at the next one. We're going to look for parentheses and we're going to distribute. So we have negative 4. Negative 2 times 2 is negative 4. Negative 2 times negative 2 is positive 4x. Then we have this negative 4. We're going to distribute again. So we get negative 4x minus 20 is less than or equal to negative 24. I'm going to combine my like terms. So on this side I have a negative 4 and a negative 20. That becomes negative 24. We also have 4x minus 4x, which is just going to cancel each other out, and we're less than or equal to negative 24. Oh, that's a bad problem. I mean, that problem is, okay. So, this problem is not, I guess I didn't write it, I don't know. I must have messed a sign up somewhere. But, I mean, this is a true statement, right? This has got an equal to sign, so this is a true statement. We can leave it like this. This is fine. It's just not what I was expecting to get to. I don't know what I was thinking when I wrote this problem. Okay, so this is an okay answer. It's a true statement, so we can leave it. Let's go ahead and look at this next problem. So again, we're going to look through for parentheses. We're going to distribute. So I'm going to go ahead and rewrite this. 28 minus 7x is greater than or equal to negative 4 times negative 7x is 28x. Negative 4 times negative 7 is 28. So now let's go ahead and add 7x to both sides. So we have 28. This makes 0. It's greater than or equal to 35x plus 28. So we're going to subtract 28. And this makes 0. This makes 0 also. We have 35x. If we divide by 35, divide by 35, x is greater than or equal to 0. So that's going to be our answer here. So I feel like on the first problem I had a sign wrong somewhere, or it didn't type in whenever I wrote it, because we never actually used the rule that if we multiply or divide by a negative number, then you have to flip the symbol. So let's go ahead. I think I can fix it really quick and we can work the problem again. So let's come back up here. Let me erase this work. I think I can fix it really quick. I think if I make I think if I make this 6 negative, it might work. Okay, so let's try this problem again, and let's make this 6x a negative. All right, so let's work through it. Okay, guys, I make mistakes sometimes, bear with me, okay? All right, so 8x, negative 4 times 4x is going to be negative 16x. Negative 4 times 3 is positive 12. It's less than negative 4 times negative 6 is going to be a positive 24x. Negative 4 times 4 is negative 16 minus 4. I think this will work out the way I want it to now. All right, so let's combine our like terms. We have negative 16 and 8. So this is going to be 8 minus 16 is going to be negative 8x plus 12 is less than, we have like terms over here we need to combine, so 24x minus 16 so minus 20, right? And now we want to get our variables together and then solve. So I'm going to go ahead and add my 8x. No, I'm not going to add my 8x. You know what we're going to do? Just to make it do what I want to do, I'm going to do minus 24x on both sides. I'm going to do minus 24x because that's going to do what I want it to do. So then we have 8 minus negative 8 minus 24 is going to give me negative 32x plus 12 is less than 20. Okay, now I can subtract 12 from both sides. And I have negative 32x is less than negative 32. Divide by negative 32. And we have x and negative 32 divided by negative 32 is 1. But our rule tells us that if we multiply or divide, so if the number that I'm multiplying or dividing by down here is negative, then I need to flip my symbol. So instead of having a less than symbol, I need to flip it and make it greater than. So my answer is going to be x is greater than 1. Okay? Sorry about getting that problem messed up. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm sorry about that. I will try to double check things. It's just really late right now and I don't have time to go back and recreate my notes and remake the video. So I apologize. I will do better from here on out. Thank y'all for bearing with me today. I will see y'all later. Please, please, please reach out if you have any questions, if you need any help. The assignment that I posted yesterday for these, so you should be able to finish up that assignment after these notes. And I posted it as a doc, so you guys just see the problems there. Feel free to like work the problems on a piece of paper, then take a picture of them. You can post the pictures in into a Google Doc and submit it that way. You can just submit the pictures directly. You can make a video of all your work and submit it that way. Whatever is easiest for you, whatever you have easy access to, that's fine with me. So make sure you get that turned in. It's going to be due on Friday. All right. Y'all have a fantastic